Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're journeying to a remote island on the border of Laos and Cambodia. We're going to dive into a stunning first-hand account of hidden treasure, a deadly curse, and an all-out duel between powerful sorcerers. So, what really happens when a simple act of greed awakens something ancient and powerful? We're about to find out. This story starts as a fishing trip, but quickly spirals into a supernatural battle involving stolen gold, a fatal curse, and a literal army of the damned. All right, so our story kicks off right after a family wedding. You've got four friends, all of them masters of traditional magic and arts, and they decide, hey, let's go on a little trip. And you gotta understand, these aren't your average fishermen. We've got Uncle Pruk, Uncle Lang, Pook Kaeo, and Talux. These guys are seasoned. They know the old ways. They think they're just heading out for some quiet fishing, but their local guide decides to let them in on a little secret about where they're going. The first warning they get is about a guardian spirit, a huge white crocodile that's said to protect the island and all its waters. And we're not just talking about an animal here. This crocodile is considered the powerful owner of the river, a true master of the land. And the second warning, it's even more direct. This place is spiritually charged. You don't make careless promises, you don't lie, you don't show any disrespect, because the spirits here, they're listening, and they will hold you to your word. Okay, so night falls. They're settling in on the island, and two of the masters, Talux and Pook Kaeo, they head out into the flooded forest to set their fishing nets. And this is exactly where a simple trip starts to take a very, very dark turn. So one of the masters, Pook Kaeo, has a kind of spirit guide that whispers a secret to him. There's pirate treasure hidden nearby. They go look, and they find it. An unbelievable stash. Chests, jars, just filled with gold. Pook Kaeo hesitates, but Talux, he gets hit with a wave of greed and makes a choice that changes everything. And this isn't just a small theft. He grabs 4 heavy, solid gold necklaces. We're talking each one as thick as a finger. He even tries to offer one to Pook Kaeo, who's terrified and refuses, but it's too late. The deed is done. A little later that night, they're back at their camp when a boat approaches. And yep, it's them, the thieves. They're coming back to check on their treasure. They figured out something's missing, and they're here to find out who took it. But they don't just come in accusing them. No, they play it really cool. They make up this story about accidentally breaking the master's fishing net, and even offer to pay for it. Then they warn them to stay away from that treasure spot, saying it's crawling with venomous creatures. It's all just a test, a veiled threat to see what the masters know. But then, just as they're about to leave, after this super tense conversation, one of the men does something really quiet but totally deliberate. He just drags his foot and draws a line in the sand. Now, to you or me, that gesture means nothing, but Uncle Prak, he recognizes it instantly. It's a form of black magic called Slong Dan. You can think of it like a magical tripwire, a curse that's specifically designed to hunt down and punish whoever wronged you. And here's the really brilliant or terrifying part of this curse. It's not a blanket attack. It's not going to hit everybody. It's a targeted weapon. It will only affect the one person in that group who's guilty, the thief.
And let me tell you, it does not take long. Within the hour, Talux starts feeling this intense, burning heat, like he's cooking from the inside out. He's sweating like crazy even though it's a cool night. He tries to just walk it off, but by midnight, the magic hits him full force. He coughs up a spray of blood and just collapses. So now, Talux is on the verge of death, and Pook Kaeo just can't keep the secret anymore. He breaks down and tells Uncle Prak and Uncle Lang everything about finding the gold, about Talux's theft, and about who those visitors really were. You know, you'd think Uncle Prak would be furious with his friend, but he's not. His anger is aimed completely at the thieves. Not just because they cursed Talux, but because they used dark magic to do it. He knows they're coming back, and this time, he's ready for a fight. And sure enough, here they come. 2 boats, speeding right towards the island. One of the men raises a rifle to shoot, but Uncle Lang is faster. He grabs a handful of sand, mutters a chant over it, and just flings it. The rifle magically backfires, completely shattering in the thief's hands. Well, with their modern weapon totally useless, the thieves finally drop the act. They reveal their true nature. See, they aren't just criminals. They are powerful sorcerers themselves.
And now they turn to a much, much darker kind of magic.
One of the sorcerers throws some kind of powder into the river and starts chanting. The water starts to churn, and then, from the depths, an army of these grotesque water spirits starts crawling onto the island. We're talking about things covered in green slime, creatures that are half flesh and half skeleton, just slithering towards them.
But Uncle Prak, he is completely unfazed by this nightmare army. He holds up the stolen necklaces and shouts a challenge right back at them across the water. He's not just accepting the fight, he's escalating it. He's telling them, I'm coming for the rest of your treasure next. So while the thieves are using necromancy to summon this horde of monsters, Uncle Prak grabs the most mundane, everyday object he can find, a simple wooden boat paddle. He starts reciting a powerful mantra, a sacred chant, pouring all this ancient power directly into the wood.
So as this army of spirits swarms the shore, Uncle Prat stands his ground. The boat paddle actually begins to glow with this intense heat and power. He just wades into the fight, swinging this enchanted paddle. And every time it hits one of these creatures, the thing just disintegrates on impact.
And this is where the source account unbelievably just cuts off. Right in the middle of this incredible magical battle, it leaves us on the ultimate cliffhanger, with this one master fighting an army of the damned and the entire outcome hanging in the balance. What a story.